Hello, my name is Riley Everett, and this is my 5-minute presentation on Jack Northrop. So at a young age, about 16 years old, Jack Northrop witnessed a biplane take off and fly around his town. This inspired him to make a career in aviation before he even graduated high school. At about 19, he becomes a mechanical draftsman engineer underneath Alan Lockheed. He had already built up a resume in high school as a garage mechanic, an architectural draftsman, and a builder. His early career at Lockheed, he designs the F-1, which is Lockheed's first plane. At the time, it was the largest flying boat. But then, not too long after, he would be drafted into World War I, where he would be furloughed back to Lockheed to make two more flying boats, the Lockheed Curtiss HS-2L. Lockheed aircraft would die after World War One because of the excess aircraft on the market. So then he would go on to engineer fuel tanks at Douglas Aircraft. He was trying to figure out how aircraft could carry more fuel to make longer flights for the military. Uh, Lockheed would then reform again, and he would join Alan Lockheed and form the famous Vega model. As mentioned in my prior video, the Vega model uh, was used by famous aviators like Charles Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart. Uh, he used the previous ideas at Douglas to make the Vega be able to fly longer. Then he would form the Avion Corporation with other aircraft engineers and would design the first American all-metal stressed skin aircraft. And this semi-monocoque construction is still used commonly today. Uh, the Avion Corporation would be renamed into the Northrop Aircraft Corporation, which would be underneath Boeing, and it would Boeing at the time was also underneath United Aircraft and the Transport Corporation, which were two of the largest aircraft companies at the time. His Northrop Alpha would be used by Transworld Airlines, the Department of Commerce, and the Army Air Corps. Uh, he would go on to switch companies even more. Once the Great Depression brought issues to his corporation, he moved his own company to underneath Douglas to support it. And he developed the all-metal Gamma, which was used by the Army Air Corps and commercial airlines. And as you can see in the picture, it was used for many Antarctic expeditions by famous aviators at the time. Uh, uh, Antarctic expedition was a big deal. It hadn't been done much before. And then as World War II began, he began developing even more military aircraft for the US and other countries, specifically countries over in Asia. Northrop became very discouraged by the companies he was underneath. He didn't feel like he could support a company all by himself, but he wanted to take that risk so he could let his ideas flow freely and take credit for his ideas. So he started underneath himself, Jack Northrop Incorporated. He grew to one of the 200 largest industrial organizations at the time in the United States. And he primarily worked with the military in designing planes. Uh, these planes, some of these planes would be the B-49, which is in the top right. You may have seen that plane before, but if you haven't, the B-49 was used to make the B-2, which is in the bottom left, which has been a huge aircraft, uh, been huge for the growth of aircraft. The F-89, the P-61, the Automatic Celestial Navigation System, which has been made into a smaller system today, but is still used. And then the Snark intercontinental cruise missile in the bottom middle was used a lot in World War II. So I believe Northrop was very underrated aircraft engineer for his time. Thank you for watching. These are my sources.